Welcome, Erev Tov. I will admit there were technical difficulties. That's why this is late. And, this is take two, I will tell you. But anyway, here we are, a milestone as we prepare to count and continue our journey from Pesach to Shavuot, from Mitzrayim, from liberation, from the narrow space into Midbar, the wilderness of expanse and revelation. And so let's center ourselves in this present moment, because in this count and in this journey, we go day by day as we prepare to take our next step. And so we bless. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign spirit of the universe, who brings us holiness with the mitzvot and connects to us with the counting of the Omer. Hayom, echad ve'esrim yom, shehem shalosh shavuot ba'omer. Today is 21 days, which is 3 weeks of the Omer. Malchut shebetiferet, a day of majesty in a week of compassion. So yes, today we complete 3 weeks of our journey. Feels like we've come so far. We have a ways to go. But we've got now this container of compassion. Finishing up that week, that we've dropped in chesed, loving kindness, gevurah, strength, tiferet, compassion, netzach, a dash more, netzach, perseverance, hud, humility, yesod, foundation. And today, we add the lid of majesty. We synthesize all the teachings we've gained as we take our container and we place it on that shelf, joining the others as we track the process of our journey. From that first week of chesed, of loving kindness, where we just familiarized ourselves with where we were going and how we were going and how we were counting and what this sefirot meant to us. And last week we looked at strength. And it became about strength in time, the weight of time, the pull, the time, and how it changes, has on us. And this week we looked at finding compassion on the path from narrowness to expanse. Finding that from those broken spaces and places within us is where the compassion comes and the promise of connection and reaching out. And I talked about the germ of this for me was the fact that when the second temple came down, and as a people, we were pretty much destroyed and distraught and exiled. And yet from that complete destruction and brokenness in just an nth degree, our ancient sages, our rabbis recreated this spiritual pursuit, this religion that's new and old at the same time. That is our ancient tradition, but made it work without the central spaces that were lost, the temple and the land. And it became more personal for us, and it became closer to us. And in some ways, it was where it needed to be to survive, and it has. And yet, I want to end this week of compassion and finding that compassion from the broken place and knowing an expanse can come with a teaching that's from an even more ancient source. And it comes, as many as my teachings do these days, from one of my students. I'm telling you, you learn a lot of Torah from 13-year-olds. You need to hear their voices. And my student, Lily Alexander, on the day of her bat mitzvah, on Shabbat Kitisa, when we talk about the golden calf and the Israelites worshiping the golden calf, Moses coming down and seeing this tumult and this worshiping, and after just being up, getting the Aseret Dibrot, the 10 Commandments from God and writing them on the tablets, and he's got the tablets, and in his anger, he just smashes them to the ground. And a second set of tablets are inscribed. And Lily's question was, what happened to the first set of tablets? What happened to those pieces? And the part of that teaching that became so relevant to me that I got was this midrash, this story she shared, that the rabbis say that they gathered the shards and the Israelites took them with them wherever they went with the whole. They took that brokenness and kept it as a reminder. And so, this finding compassion and finding openness from brokenness is a part of who we are. And it has been there for a long time. And I think it's a wonderful teaching to take with us, because I don't think we always do. Because of the Israelites, they were broken. They still thought like slaves. They couldn't imagine the openness of a transcendent spirit. And Moshe couldn't have compassion for these Israelites who were still kind of stuck in slaves. That's where they were for so many years. And yet he couldn't see it. And in his anger, he had to break those tablets, those sacred tablets. But yet we all have those broken places, Moshe and the Israelites and those shards. But it is from those places that we grow and we connect and we find compassion. And so I will end this week of compassion, this third week of our journey, as we started it. With the Psalm 118, verse 5, these words have come to mean so much this week. Enhanced so much, even more, by the beautiful tune gifted to us by Aviva Chernik. Min hametzar karatia. Min hametzar karatia. Nani v'merchav ya. Min hametzar karatia. Min hametzar karatia. Anani v'merchav ya. Laila Tov. And I'll see you as we continue on our next step tomorrow.